I think that I have a credibility problem. Let me explain myself, and it doesn't have to do with dog training and animals. It doesn't have to do with that. What it has to do with is me seeing the UFO. And the reason why I think this is that I've done all these Bigfoot and Sasquatch videos, and in the video, this is where it gets weird for me personally, and maybe it'll make sense for you, is I did a video where I was talking about a UFO coming behind the back of my barn and planting Bigfoot like in fetal positions, right? And in that video, I think 2 videos, like right in a row, back to back, I talk about how, I know at least one of them, I talk about how I placed a security camera on the back of my barn, right? Now, 3 days later is when I saw the actual UFO, the orb or Foo Fighter type UFO. And this was like a couple days later, and it flew right behind my fucking barn. So, this was seen with my neighbor Joe. I'm going to get Joe on video so that he can verify this, that he saw this shit too. So I have this problem. It's like, before that I thought I'd seen 2 other things, but this was like about 8 or 9 months before that happened. I thought that it was a drone. It was like late at night, and I rationalized it into, well, that just must be some kind of high-tech drone. I was like, what, to the state police? Are they doing, But there was nobody around. It was in a very weird area, and then the other time was goose hunting, okay, and it was real high up. So that's a period of 10 years. I've seen 3 things, and in the last like 8 months I've seen 2 things, and one of them was just unbelievable and close and not I don't know what it was, seriously. There is no machine that is like that we have, that I know of. There was no sound, there was no sound. It was crazy. But my point being, now I have this credibility problem. I did all this stuff beforehand, right? I've even made art about, I did a big show at PS1, right? And it's a bunch of it was called Overseer, right? And it was a room of like Bigfoot type creatures. This is true, white, and they're like in a Zirconian landscape, and they're all moving and doing things, and there's a lot of glowing, So I've used the subject of Bigfoot and UFOs in my art before. I've done videos of UFOs and Bigfoot. But now the UFO part is something I'm speaking of in very realistic terms. I'm saying I saw one. I saw one, and so many other people, I'm finding out, have seen them too. But it's difficult for me, one, because I saw it, and now I have to question everything, Do you understand? And then it's also like I have this I have the intellectual problem of having to rethink how I looked at the physical world. And now I also have this thing where I have this YouTube channel, I talk about this shit, and now I'm talking about something completely different in a completely different way. Knowing that me and other people, including presidents, have seen these things, it never really made sense why Jimmy Carter and Ron Reagan talked about seeing that, and Ron Reagan's thing in the UN where he talks about if we were being invaded by, another world, we would all band together, and work as together instead of fighting each other. That's not really how he said it. He said it more eloquently. I'm just paraphrasing. But, you know, so everything's rethought. I have to talk about this UFO shit because it just seems too fucked up, and I have to be careful of how I talk about it too, and I'll tell you why. It's hard to explain, but I don't want to sound I want to sound credible. I do. I want to sound credible because it's important. But sounding credible and talking about this stuff sounds insane to people that haven't seen it. And the reason why I know this is because that's what I would say before I saw it. So I'm sure that there's people out there that are going, either one, Caine's a liar, which that seems to be the general consensus for, you know, that I would think that people would think, or I'm crazy and I'm just like the other people that saw it, like Ron Reagan and Jimmy Carter and all kinds, Dan Aykroyd, all kinds of people have seen this shit. I'm just saying the damn thing, I talk about it and then it flies behind my barn. So now, this is a real paranoid thought, I'm telling you. It almost makes it so I seem susceptible to being probed, abducted, and fucked with. And that's what other people have talked about. But the problem with it is that seems so crazy, or did seem so crazy, before I saw the damn fucking UFO. But now that I saw it, is it really that crazy? Are the Greys coming here and doing nothing more than we do, experimenting with other animals? You know, even conservation. You know, you could consider it like that, like tagging and releasing. You know, these people that are abducted say that their sperm is taken and shit, and eggs are implanted or eggs are taken out, all this kind of crazy ass shit. And it would be scary as shit. It would be scary as shit. It would be just as scary, you know, if you were the wild creature in Yellowstone and Ranger Rick is tagging and releasing you, you would hope that the animal would be medicated and knocked down, you know, appropriately. But it sounds like the people that are say that they're abducted, we don't really know. See, this is the problem. I don't really believe their story. I don't want it to happen to be. But there's also this thing in my mind of like, I didn't think that UFOs were real, and I thought that like the astronauts that were admitting, you know, that they were real were getting kickbacks or something. You know, that's what I thought. It's real weird. If you see one, I'll tell you. It's real weird. It'll be hard to process. It is. This hasn't been that long for me. The other ones I could say, well, it was something else, or I was tired. Like the one that I saw goose hunting, it was like, I said to myself, well, I was real tired. You know, maybe my eyes. I just remember seeing it and saying what I said the second time, which is, am I seeing a UFO? That's what I said. I said it and that's the thing that I thought I saw that was like the high-tech, originally, like the high-tech drone at like 2:30 in the morning out in the middle of nowhere. I rationalized it. I said, well, I just kept driving, you know, looking at it going, what the fuck? And I kept driving. Now I could kick myself. I should have stopped. I had a charged phone and I should have tried to get, you know, a video of it. And that's a thing that now I also have been thinking that too. Like I need to have a good camera with me, not an iPhone, because if I ever get the opportunity to get it again, I should get it on video as best as possible. And I know what people are thinking. They're thinking, yeah, you're an artist. You're just gonna do something and then say, right? say that it was a UFO. Funny you would say that, because I have an issue right now with that, because I was planning to do, I have a saucer type UFO. It was big, and I was going to hang it off of my barn. This is no shit. And I was going to do stills of it. I was even going to have like a Bigfoot underneath it, walking towards me, like a picture like that. And now I have a problem because I don't want to put out anything that is sort of a joke. Does that make sense? And that's what that is. It would be okay if it was an interpretation of what I saw. And I was saying, this is what I saw, and this is an interpretation of it. But the big problem with that is technical. I can go real high tech, but the problem is I could never go high enough tech to make it look like what I saw. That's how crazy the lighting was. It was nuts. It was nuts, and it was hovering. It was like it wasn't even hovering. It was just moving through 25 mile an hour winds and not being affected, you know, and like pulsating. And the top half was like kind of going up like this, like, and it staggered. And those were kind of more whitish looking. Looked sort of like an bioluminescent creature, just like pulsating, just a big ball of energy almost. Like, it was big, like I would have said, 4 or 5 feet, spherical. It was round. What drone is round and makes no sound? It was fucked up. So now I have all these problems. One, the artwork that I was going to do has to be scrapped with the saucer, because I don't want people to think that I'm joking about this. I'm not joking about it. I saw the damn thing. It was fucking weird. And now I'm thinking that the 2 other things that I saw, yeah, they probably were. And I'm also hearing on the internet that for some reason, some people are sort of contacted for whatever reason. And that sort of scares me, to be perfectly honest. It does. It scares me. I don't really want to be abducted, number one. And number two, if I was abducted and I talked about it, nobody would fucking believe me. And that makes me feel like I'm in jeopardy. They could abduct me. And even if I said, because I'm the boy crying wolf, even if I said that I was abducted, nobody would believe me. Oh yeah, Peter's making more art. Do you see the problem? It's sort of scary because they flew it behind it flew behind my barn. I don't even know if you call it flying. It moved behind my barn, right where the security camera was that I said in video that I had a security camera on the back of the barn. In an art video. And then 3 days later, I'm seeing something that's so fucking high tech. I even thought that, maybe this is, this crossed my mind at the beginning, was like, well, maybe somebody's playing a joke on me because I put this video out there. But it's like, how would you get, if that could be produced, it would cost so much money. It would cost so much money. I saw it. It doesn't make any sense. It wasn't from around here. It wasn't anything that the military owns. And now I wonder if I'm in jeopardy. So I think I saw something today. Something about 3 million Americans claim to have been abducted. And if I would have seen that before I saw the UFO so close that it was unmistakable, I would say there are 3 million crazy people. And the other thing about the people that say that they're abducted, they're sort of abducted, I think, by themselves. So, there's stories of couples being abducted too. That's right. Ugh. See the problem? I have an artistic problem. I have a credibility problem now, and I have something that I need to talk about, but because of the credibility problem, because I'm the boy who cried wolf, I'm going to have problems getting people to hear me. But I really think that it needs to be talked about. I saw it. I'm telling you, I saw it. You know? Do you get it? I'm not making this shit up. I saw the motherfucking thing. It was close. I don't hear the government talking about it. All I hear is a lot of people talking about it. You know? Do you understand this? If you're the person listening to me and you're saying he's making this shit up, I'm telling you right now, I'm not making this up. The UFO, it was real. It was very close. I saw it with my neighbor Joe. I'm not making it up. I make up a lot of shit and I make a lot of stuff. I do. I'm creative. I can make things with my hands or video. But I'm not making this up. It fucking happened. I can't believe that it happened to me, and now I'm finding out how many people are claiming that they've seen it too. And if you count the videos on, you know, that you can find videos of people took of very similar objects to like I'm saying that I saw. You're talking about a lot of people. But you sound like a nut if you're like, well, the government's not doing anything about it. Maybe because they know that they can't do anything about it because that's what it is, you know? How would you do anything about it anyway? I mean, pretty much we'd be helpless if, you know, somebody with greater technology came. You know, we think that we're so technologically, you know, advanced, but obviously we're not. The fucking ball, the glowing, pulsating ball thing that I saw was seen in Nuremberg too in the 1500s. There's a woodblock print of it. And, you know, it looks like how, if I was going to do a drawing, I would sort of draw it like that. You know, other than going real high tech and detailed, but the picture and the description is exactly what I saw. And it's exactly what they saw in World War II, the Foo Fighters. It's the exact same thing, except mine was moving real steadily slow. Just kind of like, you know, 10 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour, something like that. Not real fast. Just kind of steady. And a 25 mile an hour wind. Didn't affect it. I'm not lying. I saw this shit. It changed my life. It makes me look at life and death totally different. You know, is Elon Musk right? Is this all just like are we just like some kind of made up game? Like a video game? It's possible. It's very possible. Just because you have consciousness doesn't necessarily make it so.